Yo, what's going on? What's going on? This is Ross with another episode of The Rock Never Stops. I'm doing a series called My Favorite Thing About Your Favorite NBA Team. And today I'm going to be going over the Brooklyn Nets. So without any waste of time, let's go ahead and jump in. Um, my favorite thing about the Brooklyn Nets is it's all about legacy this season. It's all about legacy. They've got five future Hall of Famers playing on this team. They got Blake Griffin, LaMarcus Aldridge, Kyrie Irving, James Harden, and Kevin Durant. And it's interesting because when you listen to this team, especially the big three, they downplay a lot of the media hype. They downplay a lot of the expectations. They really, honestly, they have a very healthy view of like themselves in relation to what the NBA is telling them that they're supposed to be about versus what they want to be about. They're very independent in that way, and I love that. And so for them to probably say like, "Hey, the only people that we're competing against is ourselves. We're going to go out there and be our best self," and they're going to say all the right things, right? But at the same time, you also know that they hear all the birds chirping. They hear everybody saying what they can't do. They hear everybody telling Kevin Durant that you never led a team to the NBA championship, so you're not going to be ranked this high. They hear James Harden. They hear the tweets about James Harden, the same exact thing. You've never led a team, haven't been able to get to the finals despite winning multiple MVPs and being a scoring champ and having all these great numbers. They're like, you've never been able to lead somebody all the way. Kyrie Irving, same thing, right? But you also look at guys like Blake Griffin and LaMarcus Aldridge. This is kind of their last opportunity to really solidify their placing in like the Hall of Fame cast, right? LaMarcus Aldridge has been like, I mean, 8, 9, 10-time All Star. He's in. Okay, you don't have to think about that. Blake Griffin, same thing. They've been both been All NBA players. They've been multiple time All Stars. They've been elite at their position for the overwhelming majority of their career. They're in. But where are they in? Where? Because when you start thinking about when people put together lists of the top 50, right? They go back to who people were at their best. And they go, wow, this guy was amazing. And so we're going to place him here. Look at what they accomplished statistically, winning wise, talent. And then they put him in their placing like a Dominique Wilkins, right? Guys that never got over the hump to win a championship or even got to the NBA finals, right? And yet they're still placed because of how great they were. Well, I think Blake Griffin and LaMarcus Aldridge are going to be in a similar place where they're great players, especially in their primes, but they haven't been able to get over that hump. They haven't been able to take home a finals MVP and win a championship, let alone even get to an NBA finals. And then you got Kyrie and Kevin Durant, who have kind of ridden the coattails of other great players into the NBA finals to win a ring. Now, when you think about their legacy as having these great statistics, being these amazingly talented, unique players who have really transformed the game, you also have to recognize that people are still wondering just how great are they? Where do I really rank them? There's a reason why Kyrie never gets ranked with the Damian Lillards or the Stephen Currys, right, as the top point guards in the league. Because no matter how talented he is, we see him and we don't necessarily see the leader of that team. We see an extremely talented player, but we don't go, this is the guy that everyone's rallying behind. Everybody's going to look to. Um, and so there's a lot of critique. And this is one of those seasons where it really is put up or shut up. This isn't a season where people are looking at them and saying, you know what, we're hoping for the best, or they should get to the NBA finals, but you know that they have time. It's like, you don't have time. LaMarcus Aldridge just had a heart condition, right? He was out. We thought he was retired, done, right? Just came back. Blake Griffin, his knees are like made of glass. We have no idea how long he's going to be around. Um, and then Kyrie Irving is always getting little injuries, little out 15 game type injuries. And recently, at the worst time, going into the playoffs. So it hasn't really proven to be very durable. And age tells me that's not going to get better. If you're not very durable at a young age, you're not going to be more durable as you get older. Just ask Blake Griffin, right? Always having a knee injury. He got to a certain point where his knees are like, oh no, we're not getting better. So when you really look at this team, like tomorrow is not promised. It's not. If one of the big three goes down, they're immediately in the same cast as the Milwaukee Bucks, Philadelphia 76ers, and everyone else, right? They need all three of their big three big gun players, James Harden, Kyrie Irving, Kevin Durant, to come through, to be healthy, to be locked in for the playoffs. If they're together, they have a shot to beat anybody. Um, but keep in mind this, that this storyline is going to be incredible to follow. It's going to be incredible to follow. And that's my favorite thing about this Brooklyn Nets team is that we're going to get a chance to follow one of the all-time great teams that have ever been assembled. I don't think there's ever been this much talent on one NBA team. Not just MVPs, but multiple time MVPs, NBA champions, all-star appearances, in first team All NBA, second team All NBA players who have accumulated these accolades over an expansive career and are still in their prime. This isn't like when the Houston Rockets grabbed Scottie Pippen and Charles Barkley at the end of their careers to try to win a championship, right? This is in their prime, low 30s, right? 29, like your prime is considered somewhere around, even if you start off early, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32. That's really what you consider the prime of an NBA player. That's their physical prowess from early in their career and just pure raw talent. And then the experience coupled with that that allows them to maximize both. Now, as they get older, it's going to be more about experience, outwitting people, and things like that. I could talk a little bit about the supporting cast that I also like too. The Paul Millsap pickup was so underrated. Paul Millsap is going to probably be more important than Blake Griffin, I would gather. He's far more versatile, has more in his bag, he's more durable, better on defense, um, and just as good, if not better, of a shooter. So I think he might be a better glue guy, especially when they're going small, because of his durability and his ability to guard multiple positions, unlike Blake Griffin. LaMarcus Aldridge, and he's going to be a big part of this team to be able to spread the floor, rebound, block some shots, play positionally where they need him to be. I like Nicholas Claxton and Joe Harris. These are guys that are going to be niche players who are going to play a very specific role for this team, along with Patty Mills and Bruce Brown. And even James Johnson is another great pickup for them, adding depth. Once again, if you watch my first video, you know depth and experience are two of the primary factors of if a team is going to win, along with having superstar players. And the Brooklyn Nets, they hit on all three in spades. Not only do they have depth, going 9, 10 playoff tested players deep, but they also go 9, 10 players who are experienced in their prime and have extreme talent. Great talent. When I say extreme talent, I mean they have talent that is above the rest of other players. So they're above average players at their specialty, what they're good at. And so when I see this roster, I get really excited. Um, but what I'm really excited to see is how it plays out. If an injury happens here, if a little losing streak happens there, if a little drama comes out, Kyrie takes some time off, James Harden gets hurt, somebody's not passing the ball enough, taking too many shots, people are figuring out their roles early on, and they're not winning as much as people think they should. How is all that going to play out in terms of how this team evolves over the course of this season? Because I guarantee you, come playoffs, they're going to be ready. Even if it's just one of those superstars, they're going to be ready. This is one of those, it doesn't matter if one guy gets injured. It doesn't matter if two guys get injured. This Brooklyn Nets team, they are going to be measured in who they are and the legacy of their careers by what they do in the playoffs. And I expect, no matter what we see throughout the regular season, expect the Brooklyn Nets to be marching their way to the Eastern Conference Finals, and if they're healthy, into an NBA Finals. Once again, this is Ross with The Rock Never Stops. My favorite thing about your NBA team, your favorite NBA team, Brooklyn Nets edition. If you like, subscribe, please. If you care to comment, definitely do at the bottom. I definitely read the comments. I comment back. And sometimes if you have ideas for videos or specific aspects of your team, I'll go ahead and do a video about that as well. All right. That. Peace.